live. Hopefully this stays on my YouTube channel afterwards. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry my face looks like this. I had a bad toothache. And I look like I've been punched in the eye. Anyway, I just watched a new Roadhouse movie. I wish it just wasn't Roadhouse, because then it'd be an okay, passable movie if they just called it something else, but it sucked. It sucked so bad. I grew up on the original. I would get that the video and the DVD, whatever it was at the time. It was my stepdad's, and I used to take it upstairs almost every night and watch that movie. And obviously it had Patrick Swayze in, rest in peace, one of the greatest actors of all time. And that movie was powerful back in the day. Now, I don't really know where to start. Look, basically, yeah, sorry for my appearance just quickly again, because I've been going through it, but fuck it anyway. We're live, we'll do it live. The movie sucked, and here's why. The original movie, you know, Dalton gets asked to bounce the, to be a bouncer at the Double Deuce rough bar, yeah? It's a rough bar, it's been took over by ruffians. And he's there to sort it out, even though reluctantly at start he ends up doing it. Just like the new movie, except in the new movie they call the bar Roadhouse, just to play into that fucking Family Guy meme. And they say Roadhouse 1,000 times in the first 10 minutes. I swear to you, that's all they say in that movie just to cash in on that fucking meme. Which the meme's funny, because the original, they never said it. But it was such an adrenaline-fueled, testosterone, mannish film that Peter jokes that's the dialogue for the whole film is just Roadhouse, Roadhouse, right? It's not a joke with this one. That's all they fucking say in the new one. That's all they say is Roadhouse. And you go, Roadhouse this, Roadhouse that. Fuck you, man, it sucks. At the very start, you see... Spoilers, by the way. But at the very start, you see, you know, Dalton pull into the town, and there's a rundown cafe called the Double Deuce as a little nod to people who like the original, which sucked. It sucked. It was a sucky nod. It fucking made me angry, and it sucked, right? The original movie, Patrick Swayze uses his hands, yeah? And he fights off all the bad guys, no matter how hard they are. And then the bad guys realise that no one's as hard as Dalton or Patrick Swayze, so they start using weapons and guns to try fuck him up and beat him and scare him, right? And then there's a line drawn in the movie, will Patrick Swayze use weapons to get back? No, he just rips the cunt's throat out and kills him. Still never needs to use guns. In the new movie, it's kind of the same until the end, where Jake Gyllenhaal just stabs Conor McGregor 4 times. And then that made me think, well, why didn't you just use a shotgun or something the whole time? Why didn't you just use a weapon the whole time and just shoot all these motherfuckers? The movie would have been 10 minutes. You wouldn't have had to fucking defend the pub. You'd have killed all the scumbags. If you're going to use a fucking wooden shank at the end anyway, why don't you fucking use it for the whole movie? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Also, I don't remember, I've watched the first one a lot, right, but I don't remember it having that much comedy moments in, whereas this one seems to relish in ruining epic fight scenes with shitty one-liners. For example, Conor McGregor spears Jake Gyllenhaal through a metal fence onto a drum set, and then starts bashing his head off a piano. And whilst Jake Gyllenhaal's getting his head bashed off a piano, he stops and he goes, I think the piano's out of tune. And Conor McGregor goes, I think it sounds fine to me. Who writ that? Whoever writ that, I will hunt you down. And I will find you and tell you that it's a terrible fucking moment in the movie. It's horrible. It's fucking horrible. It didn't make me laugh. It fucking ruined the fight scene. And it was horrible, yeah? Don't worry about me. I'm just getting on a rant about this new fucking Roadhouse. It sucked, yeah? I fully expect nobody to watch this, but I need to get it out my system. I've had a rant on Twitter, and now I'm having a rant on my YouTube, yeah? Testing out this new vertical live. I don't even know how to stop this live. No, I won't stop shaking my camera. Fuck off. I'm ranting to myself about Roadhouse. If I want to shake the fucking camera, I'll shake the fucking camera, bro. Yeah? You don't understand the passion I got for that old movie. Yeah? They should have just called this movie fucking Bouncer or something and just took all the Roadhouse off it. Nobody... It would have been a perfectly fine movie if it wasn't Roadhouse. And you took everything the original Roadhouse had and fucking threw it out the window. Right? I didn't expect it to be scene by scene, boring remake, yeah? But I did expect it to keep some of the morals and the storyline and the writing of the first one, with a few added extra flares. That, with Conor McGregor in, might have been fantastic. But for some reason, they just wanted to change everything in the movie. I mean, everything about the movie. For example, they hire Jake Gyllenhaal, Dalton, to be the bouncer, right? And then literally 5 minutes after he's paid after he's paid something like $5,000 for the first week, which no one ever gets that amount of money for fucking being a bouncer, he then just goes and gets 2 other people and then watches them be the bouncer. I'm like, but they're paying you because you're the guy. They're paying you because you're the ex-UFC guy that killed the guy in the ring or whatever the fuck the stupid storyline was. But 10 minutes after you got your check, you go and recruit an ex-boxer and you teach the bouncer that was already there how to throw punches properly. What's the point in that? What is the point in that? There is no point in that. It makes no sense. A lot of the times in the movie, you'll be enjoying yourself, yeah? You'll be like, oh, it's pretty okay, you know, the visuals, the actors in it, the star power they've got in it with Gyllenhaal and McGregor, it's quite good, right? But then, 5 minutes later, you're left wondering, like, what happened? Why was that a thing? What's going on here? Because even if you didn't watch the original, there's points in this movie that just flat out do not make sense. Like that moment I told you just there with him getting paid to be the bouncer because the other bouncers aren't good enough, but then he just teaches the other bouncer how to fight with one single bit of dialect, by the way, not like a montage. He just goes, oh, sit down on your punches or something like that, and the guy's like, oh, I got it, and then he starts waxing up everyone in the pub. How does that make sense? Yeah? I get him going to get another boxer for a bit of backup, but have it as that. Have it as Jake Gyllenhaal's backup. Don't have Jake Gyllenhaal sitting there after he's got his 10 grand for the first week, fucking watching the guy he recruited fight the whole time. Stop paying Jake Gyllenhaal. I would have stopped paying that guy instantly, so get the fuck out of here. The whole movie, obviously, they're trying to get Dalton out. And at the end, he leaves. So the whole movie you didn't want to get out. Hundreds of people had to die. And then when you beat them all, which, watch the movie, they're not beaten. It's movie beaten where you think they're dead and then the credits scene, Conor McGregor just walks back out again. He left the town. So you didn't want to leave when they were all trying to beat you up and kill all the people you liked there. But at the end of the movie you leave knowing that they're not all gone yet. I'm really, really struggling to figure out why they chose to make this a Roadhouse movie. Again, you could have just called it something different, changed the name of the pub, it would have been fine, yeah? And for anyone that says this isn't a Roadhouse remake or whatever, the guy's got the same name as Patrick Swayze, it is, you know? You might watch it and think, oh no, this is just like Roadhouse a new version with different characters, which would have been fun, right? No Dalton, just maybe even Dalton's son, you don't know, like, just random. That could have been shit as well, but I'm just saying, you could have had Jake Gyllenhaal be someone random. You could have had Conor McGregor be Conor McGregor, because Gyllenhaal's an ex-UFC star in the movie. So you could have just called Conor McGregor and it would have been fire, and just not called it Roadhouse. But you decided to remake a classic, and you absolutely fucked it. I've thumbs downed it. I advise any fan of the old one not to watch it. You're not going to get what you came for. You're not going to get what you got with the original Roadhouse, yeah? You're not going to get the feelings, you're not going to get... The only thing you are going to get is the action, because the action is there, alright? That's something new movies do really well, unless they're CGI in it. Like, the whole first scene in this movie is Post Malone fighting a guy in a pit, and they CGI both of them, and it just looks like two cartoon characters fighting for 5 minutes. And that whole bit, by the way, at the start of the movie, Post Malone is basically, you know, the Macho Man in that Spider-Man movie, where they're like, oh, if anyone can beat this guy, they get the purse for the night. That keeps mounting up after everyone, you know, after each person comes into the fight. So Post Malone beats the guy, a big bag of money's still there, and they're going, who else wants it? Who else wants to see if they can beat Post Malone? Who else can beat him for the big pot of money? Jake Gyllenhaal walks in, sits down, Post Malone says, no, I don't want to fight him, walks out, and they give him the money. That would never run in an underground fight club. They would kill you. They would fucking murder you if you walked out with that money, or if you even gave it for a guy sitting down. Jake Gyllenhaal sits down, and the other guy walks out. This guy that's been running through everyone in the pub, in the fight club. The whole movie just left me like, huh? Oh, cool fight scene, huh? Oh, cool fight scene, huh? Oh, cool fight scene, huh? And also, message to Conor McGregor, yeah? I've never been a fan of yours, and that's fine. Gotta respect what you've done to the sport. You obviously, your acting's not great in this, but it's your first time, and your presence alone is fantastic, yeah? You should do more movies, keep going, because I think you'll be big in that space. You're already a massive superstar, and it translates well into movie. When you first come into the movie, it's like, oh shit, shit's about to go down. You've not even said a word yet. That's where it failed. You said a word. And I don't know if they told you to try an American accent, or you were just trying your best to do your own Conor McGregor impersonation. Because at times, your accent seems to slip and be weird, and I'm like, they should have just told Conor just to speak normally. Even if his accent's a bit thick, people have subtitles in movies, people get over it, and you know, UK people can understand Irish people. It's not hard, yeah? It's not hard to understand them accents. It might be for some other people, but again, there's closed captions and subtitles. Like Conor McGregor was, his Irish twang was there, and I was like, that's great, yeah? But then he would slip on some, and not like slip is Irish, it would like, you know when someone's on camera and they do their camera voice? It's like, hi, well, I'm here. It seemed like Conor McGregor was trying to do that, and it's like, please just, for other roles, right, and when you get further into your career of acting, fine, do whatever you want, but you should have just done your own voice, man. That's the whole charm of your character. And I know you're not playing Conor McGregor in that movie, but you pretty much were. You pretty much were just playing Conor McGregor. Another fucking bit that annoyed me was Dalton gets to the town, and after like a day, this person just comes up to him and he's like, yo, Dalton. And then he goes and asks the woman that hires him, how come everyone knows me round here? And she goes, well, it's a small place, word gets around. Then when Conor McGregor fights him about 30 minutes later in the movie for the first time, Conor McGregor gets his own little plug-in, looks at Jake Gyllenhaal and goes, oh, finally, I've met the most notorious fighter on the planet. Nice little plug for himself. But maybe that's the reason why they knew you, Dalton. Maybe they watched the UFC and watched you kill a man. Maybe they watched that. You turn up to this town, you go, oh, how come everyone knows me? Conor McGregor said you were the most notorious fighter in the world in that movie. So, of course they're going to know you. Of course they're going to know you. You are an ex-celebrity. They are going to know you. It doesn't matter if you're in the smallest town, the biggest town. If you're a guy that was on the UFC and that killed a man in the octagon, you are going to be known worldwide. Oh, how did these people know me in this small town? I've only just got here. Maybe because in this universe, you're like the Conor McGregor. So if you rock up in a small town and start bouncing a fucking rundown club, people are gonna know who you are, you fucking moron. Bad writing, good action, terrible, terrible fucking, what's the word I'm trying to think of? A terrible homage to the original. They didn't even fucking pay respects to it in any way possible. All they did was piss and shit all over what the original stood for. My advice is, if you want to see Conor McGregor, watch him fighting in his interviews and then go watch the original Roadhouse and you'll be just as satisfied. The original Roadhouse is one of the greatest action movies of all time. So go watch that. That's my rant over, and I'm now going to try and figure out how to end this bitch. Because I don't know how to end the live. How do oh, you just press the X in the top. Peace!